Can you see the resemblance of the Biafran people? Because as well, Britain took some slaves from Africa, from the western side of Africa, down to Chagos Island. You will see a similarity of the Biafrans. Let's continue. Watch this. Hold it there. They've been living there since the 18th century. African slaves brought to the island to work on their coconut plantation. Pay attention, my people. Britain has been taking the Biafrans for a ride. Pay attention. What they've been doing to the Biafrans is deliberate. Mind you, as Hadi Dokubo said, his grandfather, they were specialists in selling the Biafrans as slaves. And you and I know that from the western side of Africa, that's where you have the Africans who are very, very strong to work in the field. And Britain deliberately was handpicking those from the western part of Africa. So what I'm seeing here, in my spirit, I could sense these are our distant relatives that were brought by Britain to this island. But let's continue. Take it back. Listen, freed. They stayed in the island as contract workers. This is the narrative given by Britain. Because there was no way to go back home. It was a one-way trip. A one-way destination to the island. When they are freed, where do you go to? So when they were freed, there was no other place to call home than to remain in the island. And now they say to work as migrant workers. The language of Britain. Migrant, you migrants, the immigrants, all those things. This is the language of Britain. You can tell they are the ones giving this narrative now. I'm going somewhere. Just continue with me in this journey. Continue. Listen. Put that. See how backward and evil the Britain that you all love to associate yourself with. See the way they act, how barbaric they act. Yet in that zoo called Nigeria, you still choose the name given to you by Britain, your slave master. You still love the name given to you by your colonizer, Nigeria. But look at what they were doing outside of Nigeria. Because most of you have chosen not to be historians. You love the God given to you by Britain. You love the Jesus given to you by Britain, your slave masters. So you have chosen not to open up your mind and see what Britain were doing to every other people. Every other nations in Africa, around the whole world. It's a taboo for you guys to still call yourself Nigeria. A name given to you by an oppressor, a criminal. A people from a tiny island that went around the whole world scavenging, pilling, and stealing and looting from the people. They stole the wealth of the nation and they claimed something called the Commonwealth. You Nigerians that believe in Nigeria should be ashamed of yourselves. And by God's grace, from the 2nd of December, we are the Biafrans, we're out. We are done with this nonsense called Britain and their so-called indirect rule. They killed everything on sight. Even the dogs were not spared in Chagos Island. But in the zoo, you claim to be journalists. You claim to be media men and the rest of them. But you guys can't even do a basic research to understand that these people that called you Nigeria, these people that amalgamated you together, what was their intention? Why did they bring a warring people, a different tribes, a different kingdoms, different nations? Why did they bring them together? What gives them the audacity to name us Nigeria? How can they? Oh my God. My God, have mercy. It's so painful that You guys are so stupid, myopic, and backwards. When they say the black man is shallow, when they say the black man is two-thirds of a man, sometimes you guys get angry. But to call a spade, sometimes you guys just act exactly the way they call you. That you are dying to keep together something created by Britain, a white man, a slave master, your oppressor, all in the sake of business. All they came to do was business. They don't love you. They came for business. They came to steal your resources. And they stole it very, very well. And guess what? They told a particular tribe they were born to rule. They told the Fulani tribe they were born to rule. And some of you still believe in Nigeria. Some of you say, God bless Nigeria. Nigeria must remain one. Nigeria go better. You guys disgust me. You claim to be educated, but you still say you believe in one Nigeria. Something created by your slave master. It's like the devil creating something, and you are dying to keep what the devil created one. Britain is worse than the devil. I said it. Let's continue. Hear the story of these people. Today, they've gotten their freedom, or they're in the verge of getting their freedom. But some of you imbeciles in that zoo, in that contraption called Nigeria, some of you living in a backward country where there is no light, no even food. Now you are hungry. You claim you are hungry. Animals. You guys disgust me with a passion. You are dying to keep together what was created by your slave master. Una shame, they shame me. Your shame is shaming me. Let me say it in English. The shame of Nigerians, those that call themselves Nigeria, their shame is shaming me. I am ashamed of the shame emanating from that country called Nigeria. A very backward people. They claim they've got swagger. They claim to be the best from Africa. But look at them in the way they rationalize. They are still following the footprints left. They are dying. They are killing for the footprints left by their slave master, Britain. Britain came to Africa to enslave you. After they enslaved you, they now colonized you. Get that in your stinking dirty skulls. Animals. You guys disgust me. Your colonizer, your enslaver gave you a name, and you are dying to keep the name together. Your enslaver, your colonizer gave you a country. They brought three different tribes together as one. And they made you one, like God. They say you must remain one. Your name is Niger area, the area of the Niger. Nigeria. Negus, the area of the Negus. The Negroes. After the river called Niger, behind that area of the river are where you will find the strong black men. Where do you find them? In the Niger area, the area of the Niger. And over time, Niger area became Nigeria, Nigeria, Niger area. And you animals are dying to keep it one. Unashamed, they shame me. Let's continue. I will take you on this journey. Look at what a real people, despite they don't even have enough, look at what they are doing to free themselves. They are fighting to liberate themselves from Britain. But you guys, your politician, every other day, they are flying to Britain. When they want to do a debate for election, they go to Britain to tender in their CV, to do a presentation in Chatham House. Because you still love your slave masters. Man, I feel like insulting you guys. It will get into your head and allow shame to, at least shame. You guys should have shame. Pride. Have the sense of pride. How were you living before the coming of Britain? That's the question. What was your way of life before Britain came to enslave you and colonized you? How were you living before the coming of Britain? You animals, you've refused to ask those critical questions. But today, the people of Chadian Island, they are doing that. They are showing you how to be a man, how to fight to the end. Fight for what you believe in. Die for what you believe in. You animals. By God's grace, on the 2nd of December, Biafra is coming. 2nd of December, this madness will end. This enslavement will end from the 2nd of December. Our Prime Minister, Mazi Ekpa Simon Njoko, we thank you for the job you're doing. We appreciate you. To the lobbyist team, the great man they call Elias Gerasoulis. Also, the lead of the lobby team, a great maverick, Jim Moran. We thank you. We need you more. We need you more this time because the pain is too much. The suffering is too much. We have suffered enough. The same way you asked for freedom from Britain, you told Britain, give me liberty or give me death. That was the mantra. That was the slogan of America when they were fighting for their own freedom from Britain, their own emancipation from Britain. But this evil entity called Nigeria, the zoo, that's why we call them the zoo, an animal kingdom where they think like animals. They even think lesser than animals. A place where there is tribalism, nepotism, retapism, and the rest of the isms. A place where they refuse to develop as a people because of tribalism. And they are saying they believe in one Nigeria. May God punish them and their one Nigeria. It's so painful. A small island that they are fighting for their freedom. Chagos Island, and today they are on the verge of getting or regaining their land from Britain. A tiny island in Europe. And the so-called giant of Africa is acting like an ant, loving their slave master. Very shameful and disgusting. I digress. Let's continue.
And the implication to them was that if they didn't go, then the same would happen to them.
Listen to what they did to the dogs.